All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Under the Lights podcast by ADU. My name is Nate, aka TC, also known as Free Range Chicken on the Discords. Joining me, as always, is my man Ty, aka Big Oller 16, and of course Andrew, Mr. Who Day All Day 88, also known as Lil Timmy. Lil Timmy almost had to come out today.
A little Timmy almost came out today.
And our extra special guest for today, the blockchain wizard himself, Diamond. How are you, man?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Glad we've finally got all these infernal machines to work properly.
Witnessing this behind the scenes, I look forward to more times of this.
it's
My
it's
highlight so far.
better, yeah, better than the actual podcast. Watching a bunch, well, mainly this one old dude right here trying to figure out how to work computers. So yeah, great show for you guys today. Obviously, a lot's gone on in the last week. We had a fresh pack drop, so we have that to talk about. We had an offensive challenge that went quite well, so we'll be chatting about that as well. We have a new ADU charity thing going on right now that also is going really, really well. And as well as, talking about all things blockchain with Diamond. So let's get right into it. The latest thing, we just got pack rewards. How'd y'all do?
I did pretty good. So for the challenge, I just had to buy the one either offensive lineman or tight end. So I went with the offensive lineman from Tampa Bay, whose name is slipping my mind for some reason right now. I got him for, I forget, I picked him up for like 100, and then after the fact sold him back for like 73. So overall, it cost me like $30 to complete, and pulled the Khalil Mack in my rare, a Dak Prescott 107.
Okay.
And then the Dallas Cowboys team debut. So I mean,
Dallas fan
just from those three alone, I mean, definitely worth it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have anything to complain about it. A free pack for the common one from, basically just collecting.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much
the rare one. Yeah, then just only having to buy the one from the rare, can't really beat it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, mine was good. So 2 podcasts ago, I had said that I might not have gone for the rare challenge because I only had 2 and I needed 4. And then TC and BESTEA, who's not here today, but we miss him, they had said that, man, you need to go for the rare challenge. It just makes sense. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll go for the rare challenge. So I looked to see what the moments that I needed. I got 2 of the lowest moments. I'm not too sure what moments they were. They were just the cheapest because that's how much Dapper I had, and I sold one for the same price that I got it for. So minus the 5%, I think I ended up spending like $6 on that moment, and then I sold the other one for like $20 less than I bought it for. So overall, I was in it for about $26, and I got it rare. Plus, I had already had the common pack done already, so I didn't really need anything from there. So I got my pack, and I pulled a Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, buddy.
And I was like, thank goodness that I followed my friend's advice, and I went and got this rare pack because that's a $200+ moment, and it made it all worth it. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy.
Dude, those fire pulls are what makes those packs so fun, And if you can finagle your way into the challenges without actually having to spend a lot of money, I mean, it just makes a pull like that feel extra special.
Exactly,
1,000%. I'm glad I didn't have to come to your house and push your finger on that buy button. I was gonna do it. I had a plane ticket all lined up.
Yeah.
All right, how about you, Diamond? Did you do the challenges?
Yeah, I did pretty good. I had both the common and the rare in the bag. So, and we can get into the numbers later on, but I think so many people, there are 35,000-ish commons already in the bag. As soon as the announcement came out, those accounts had the players.
Yeah.
So I had everything. I wasn't going to go for the legendary, even though I would love to pull a Tom Brady Lego. That's all I'm thing. But no, I pulled a Justin Tucker, number 58.
Oh, that's solid.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, a moment that I was waiting to pick up, and I felt like I missed my chance like 5 times, and then pulled it. So I'm happy with that. Pulled a Josh Allen, my common.
Okay.
That was
that's good
nice.
too. That's like 100 plus.
Yeah, I had a 2-digit at one point, sold it, so it was nice to get one back because I was eventually going to buy it before the season with fantasy and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
other than that,
that's awesome,
just like
man.
some not so mentionables, but those were the 2 highlights, and I'm very happy with the packs I got.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I went for it as well. As soon as the challenge was announced, I went straight to the TEOL link, and I grabbed a Tony Baselli 2-digit for like $79. And I was just gonna ride that thing out, and then it got up to $200. And I had told myself I told myself it was gonna sell it, if it got to $150, and it blew past $150 before I can even look at it. And I'm looking at that thing, like I'm looking at my account like every, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So somehow I missed it, and it got up to $200. And I'm like, because Mark Andrews was right around the same price, and I knew that Baselli was going to go back down to that $70-$80 range when it was over. So being that I had that 2-digit, I just popped it up there for $200, and somebody picked it up, and I went and grabbed myself a Mark Andrews 2-digit with digit, which that was only, I think, $15 above floor, something like that. So, and I knew from before the challenge that it wasn't going to go much farther past maybe $140. So I was saving about $80 in value there, just on the potential lack of free fall that Andrews was going to have compared to Baselli. So that was a satisfying way to get into the rare challenge. Bank a couple bucks doing that. But in the packs themselves, my rare pack was okay. I was happy with it. I had a 3-digit Duron Harmon, which it's 3 digits. I'll take 3-digit anybody.
Yeah.
The other one I can't remember, and then I got a 100 something serial Chandler Jones. So all in all, I'm happy with what I got out of that. That was rock solid. And I couldn't have too high. I couldn't have too high of expectations, because out of my last rare reward pack, I pulled a number 4 Khalil Mack. So
wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything to that level. So, but then I didn't actually get my common pack until overnight. So I actually ripped it open this morning, and I went. It was actually a really good pack for a common overall. I got a Noah Fant debut, I got an Alvin Kamara debut, and then I got a T-Law common. So all told, that was $65 worth right there too. And compared to some of the common pulls I saw from some people, I'm really damn happy with that. Yeah. So yeah, overall it was real good. So what are you guys' thoughts on the speed with which they drop these challenge packs? They're like, oh, we'll have them to you by Friday, and they said it on Monday, and then by Tuesday, we're getting packs. Like, how stoked are you guys about that?
I know that they have dropping of packs down packed now, right? So they put their my expectations of them now is every single challenge you gotta drop right next day. So like they like might have messed up, but this challenge they hit it right on the nail. Next day, bam, here's your pack. I love it, right? Loved it.
I mean, I like Ty said, I kind of think going forward, more people are going to lean towards that. Oh, well, the last time you had, what was it, like 40-something thousand total packs that they had to distribute, and they did it the next day. So going forward, if we say have something that's only like 15, 20,000, people might be like, oh, well, you're going to have to get this out like tomorrow. Yeah. So I think they might have shot themselves in the foot with that. But I mean, you can't really complain for something finishing on Monday at 1 o'clock, and then most people were getting their first pack Tuesday at like 3:30 Eastern anyway.
That's
like
phenomenal.
you can't really complain about that. So hopefully they can keep doing it, going forward.
Diamond, were you the one that posted the pack list whenever the count, or at least the pack links whenever the countdown started?
Yeah, like once I noticed the pack pages and then saw that they were getting stuff, that was, I mean, I was surprised, like, for it to happen on that quick. I was very surprised. I'm glad. Like, I do think it will build some expectations for the future. But even if it came, like the next one came like a couple days after, it's not going to bother me. It's packs we're getting airdrop. We know we're going to get them. It's worth the wait.
Hopefully.
But yeah, no, it was one of those things. Like, I was surprised. I'm glad we got them early, because now, we have a lot of time in the week that maybe we might get some more news. Maybe that's one of the reasons they did it. So that's kind of my expectation. My maybe false hopes, but I have a feeling that's kind of like what this is leaning into for this week is having the next day or two to say something.
It was so fast that, like, I almost, not that I think it's a likely scenario, but I almost wonder if they were like, after kind of what happened with the pack drop on Friday, they're like, let's get these out ASAP. Let's earn back some goodwill and get these reward packs out as soon as possible.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Also, just because next week is the last week of a preseason, so like they're starting, right? So like next week is like their like last time to really practice on like getting packs out fast. So I think that's why they did it, because they have big news coming out either at the end of this week or next week. That's going to really project them into the directions that they want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did it, kind of on purpose as like maybe a test to themselves, just to see if they could do it. So they're like, okay, we did this with 40 some thousand, so we have 10, 15, 20, it should take this amount of time, type of thing. Which,
Exactly.
Test it now as opposed to testing it in a few weeks when it's the, first couple weeks of the regular season, and people might be getting a little antsy, like, oh, well, I finished something on Friday. Why don't I have something, in my, wallet on Wednesday or Thursday? So yeah, I think it was intentional on their part to at least kind of test out their capabilities going forward.
For sure.
And I think that was, because the last rewards pack came out pretty quick too. I think they gave like a 4-day window, but I think they had it out like on the second day.
Yeah, in like 2 days.
So yeah, they've already started getting them out early, and it's kind of playing into that whole under promise over deliver thing they've kind of slipped into, which is excellent. I'd rather much be pleasantly surprised more often than consistently disappointed.
Exactly.
I mean? Like, so set a lower bar and then jump way the hell over it.
For sure, 100%. Now, do you guys think that they do a defensive one, either like this week or next week?
I have a theory on that. If a challenge comes out and within the first 5 minutes you can figure out what the next one's going to be, that shouldn't be a challenge. Like It was pretty, like, just like the way it was worded, like it was just like, okay, offense, so like think defense, and we've seen that in the market with the moments being bought up. And for me, like, I think they're kind of pushing those week 13 to 18 moments out, get those out there. We have other possibly burning, all that kind of stuff coming, so get those moments out there. So the next challenge, which I expect we'll get at least one more before the season starts, should be another easy one. But that, if it works out, great. A lot of people are going to be happy that Spec bought on it. But, I would also take like a little curveball, still like an easier challenge to finish, but just like, something that's not as obvious is what I would
for sure.
Well, see, here's my thought on that, right? So like the defense kind of started running before the last challenge, right? Like, everybody kind of thought the top 100. They kind of thought a lot of things. Everybody has been saying defense, and I have a feeling that the people who are stacking defense aren't doing it for one challenge, because it's an eventuality. It's got to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
So you know, they can't just keep refusing to do a defensive challenge because we know one is eventually coming. One is eventually going to come. Now they're gonna. I know they're gonna. They're smart people. They're gonna figure out a curveball to throw in there on us that's gonna kind of make everybody scramble for the most part. Like
Yeah.
they've been good at that lately. So whatever that curveball is gonna be, I fully expect it to arrive. I just who knows what it is, and
Exactly. Like a
But
rookie challenge
it's fun.
hasn't even came yet. Like a rookie challenge has to come. It has to. Right? There's no way a rookie challenge does not come. They've been hinting at it for like months. Rookie challenge, rookie wide receiver. Which one are you paying? What I think that they're gonna do is once a lot of rookies have moment worthy plays, that's when they'll have an actual rookie challenge. And that is going to be the reward. It's going to be like one of the rookies that are doing good in the league. That's how I feel like it. But I'm gonna keep stacking my Chuba Hubbard and Roy Williams.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, I think the way they worded it, and I don't have it right in front of me, but it wasn't build your offensive lineup. It was build your lineup, offense.
Yep.
The way that is worded, 100 million, 1,000 billion %, they're doing a defense one. Whether it's Thursday, Friday of this week, whether it's 3-4 weeks down the line, it's gonna happen. Like the way it is worded, they worded it in a way that it can't be taken any other way as this is the first of at least two. They could do it, build your lineup, special teams. I doubt it, unless they're going to be handing out like, rare kickers, every pack drop in season 2. But yeah, just the way it was worded, it's going to come. And I think it was Brett on Friday night during the special edition of the podcast. I think he's the one that brought up the way it was done was to kind of, instead of having a starter pack, this was their way of giving out a starter pack because it only costs like what, $10 to do the common. So I kind of feel like maybe they'll do something similar with defense. It's not going to cost $10. It's probably going to cost like closer to probably 25, 30 to do it. But it's another way to cheaply get a pack. And then maybe if it is a little bit more expensive, maybe they go back to like a 5% chance at a rare in the common pack type of thing to get the new users accustomed to that type of pack. So I do think the next challenge is probably going to be an easier one. I do think it's going to be the build your defense, even though that is the most obvious one. But yeah, just the way it was worded, they have to kind of go that route at some point.
I think another issue that was brought up in the chat today, the ADU chat, anybody who isn't familiar, head on over, get minted, come join the conversation. But we were talking about that today, and there's some potential bottlenecks with something like Tucker being the only rare kicker. There's I think some team moments bottlenecks in there too, and they've really seemed to be trying to shy away from any firm hard bottlenecks, even though the tight end OL category certainly was a bottleneck of sorts. There was enough of a pump there for that to be called exactly that. But I think on the defensive side, those are only more extreme. I can't really think of unless they combine everything, or they go kickers,
kicker
team moments,
any punt return, Because I think
that's what I think that they would do.
Yeah, even the offensive lineman, who again still can't remember, Marpet, he would technically count in that special teams.
Yeah. There's like blocked kicks
part of it because of it was like on a field goal or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize, or it was a 2-point conversion, which is technically a special teams play.
I know what I'll be doing after the podcast. I'll be picking up some special team moments.
Yeah, I think if they went the easy route, it's DB. So you got your defensive back, your defensive lineman, linebacker, and then the fourth one would be like team moment or special teams. So kicker, punter. So yeah, if that was the case, then I'm glad I pulled that Tucker my last pack. That's all.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think that's part of the reason that he really kind of ran up as high in dollar value as he has, is I think people are kind of seeing that as a natural bottleneck already.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, it can't just be a 66-yard kick. I mean, like that can't be the only draw to it. You know,
Record breaker.
but also, there are a lot of launch codes people out there too. So, there were a lot of people that were going to go hunting that thing to go complete their set too. So,
Someone saying
especially now,
codes.
like getting close to with series 1 coming towards the close. Like,
Yeah.
if you're trying to finish a set and you maybe are off by a couple, like once that's like confirmed close, like we have like all the like challenge reward moments might be out there, and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be a rush for people that are going to, like, if you're 1, 2, 3, 4 off, they're going to go for it.
yeah.
So
1000%.
my opinion, I'm not a big set person personally, but like I would definitely try to finish it if you're kind of close, because those could easily start gaining quick.
Yep.
Speaking
So,
of season closing, go ahead.
All right, no, go ahead.
TC.
No, we can go season closing. They said what? No more. They have one more historical drop, and then
One more.
and then no more or series 1 drops, but they could still do new moments, in reward packs and stuff. Diamond, why don't you start touching on this here? What do you have in this front?
Yeah, I think we'll only see a few more moments for the challenge rewards. Because I don't foresee 2 challenges before the season starts. I think it's gonna be 1. Maybe do the common, rare, legendary again. You could pull out 3, 4, 5 new moments if they wanted to. We still have the Tyler Boyd. I would like to get some confirmation on what's going to happen with that one. That's the one minted moment just sitting there that we haven't gotten any update on, and it's part of Series 1. So
Earn it so I don't have to buy it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's the next one. Is like, with the challenge reward, historical, I think a burn option is coming before the season starts. Like you were talking about with the airdrops, like getting those, like testing them quicker, like before the season. Like maybe if burn's coming, start doing it now. A lot of people are antsy, ready to just like burn all their like lure comment, whatever. I do think they should be somewhat controlled. You shouldn't just be able to burn whatever moments you want, or it could be tied to a challenge or anything else. But yeah, and any new like packs we might get is going to just have previous moments from Series 1. So I do think they're going to want to push those out. So like I for sure see a challenge coming where we're just going to get a lot. I think it's going to be easy, like you're saying, like get all those moments out there, let us burn them. Season starts, we kind of know where everything stands, and I think we'll get news on Series 2 and how they're going to do their pack drops and like possibly mint counts, or like how many players. Like they may only do 1 tier per player. They may announce these. I would hope to see that as an announcement. Like hear that. I mean, obviously that's part of the roadmap, so that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I look forward to like that kind of. And I think we'll get that like either this week or next week.
Do you know? Do you know how many more moments that they have to disperse? That's like not part of the 100K. I think BESTEA said it. I just don't remember.
I think when I looked not that long ago, we still have like it's like over 500K. Like there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think before this, I think I saw BESTEA's post. It said something like there was like 684,000 outstanding 13 to 18 week moments, and then this one, like this drop, took out 100 and something thousand. So I think he estimated around 550K still to be released.
And that's why I think the burn will come where, I mean, obviously, like I hope we get some kind of confirmation of the 100,000 that they talked about. But also, like maybe instead of them doing that, they do it where we have the option to start kind of taking it in our hands of like what we want to do with these moments.
Yeah,
kind of start.
Sure.
But I think the quicker they get them all out there, the better.
Agreed. I do still think they're going to save some for starter packs too. I think that's going to be something that's at least somewhat important as Series 1 goes on, that people who come in early season, mid season, even late season have a pack that they can buy immediately, and they won't have to wait for a drop and try to get into a queue that may have way more people in it than packs available, which is I know what we're all hoping happens. So
what's funny is a Series 1 Series 1 moments are like gaining in value. I know that Top Shot, they did like starter packs, but at the time they were like $1, $2 moments
Yeah.
kind of thing.
was-
And
That was firmly in the
so
60K trash days.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I wonder what they price these like actual starter packs at, and I don't know how many moments they actually get per pack if they do even do
So
like starter packs.
BESTEA tweeted us with that tweet that he had. So after celebration packs, there were 658,000. After
Okay,
the reward packs we just got, it was 543,000. Once you take out the 100,000, that leaves us about 443,000, which is still right around 25% of those 13 to 18 moments.
and that
Yeah, and
was 40K packs, right? Or 40K packs were distributed.
yeah, like
Uh,
4,500 ish, like a little below 4,500.
45,000.
Or 1,000,
yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
45,000.
Okay, okay. So we still got a lot of work.
My
to do.
biggest
Yeah, so
takeaway
it's
from
like
that is I remember those numbers pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
I
like
do think
115,000 moments is what got distributed yesterday. So once you factor in that 100,000 burn, you're really only looking at what we got yesterday. That's all they're burning, guaranteed anyway.
yeah.
And obviously, I think that gives you insight into just how many starter packs they could possibly make out of those moments as well. Because I mean, if you have 45,000 packs and you got down about 120,000 moments, you could take 250K and keep 100K
Yeah.
packs in reserve for new moments. I mean, I think that'd be great because if every new account gets one starter pack and they all get bought, that means we're getting close to 200,000 users, which is
Exactly.
yeah, sign me
Huge.
up.
Yeah.
I could see another celebration before the next season. Like,
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah.
I think they've hinted that there are more, rewards, something like that coming. But I kind of have a feeling that they might not dip back into the 13 to 18 pool to reward that. Just because that was cool, but at the same time the reception was like all commons. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. we all Jones to see those rares and Legos
Yeah.
pop up in the
Yeah.
in the pack and in our little pack. So you take that away, then it's just like okay.
For sure. I could definitely see them doing maybe 140,000 more, and then just having like a straight 300K, and then just putting it off to the side, because that's if you do 3 moments per pack, that's 100,000 packs. Where if like new people come in, they can say, okay, cool, let me just get the starter pack. So I think that will do one more drop or one more challenge that will be able to be completed for about like 100K.
Yeah, it's reasonable. All right, so speaking of packs, we had a pretty significant happening in ADU today. So our one of our members, Cobalt Foil, I don't know what it was Quiddy Pay last time. It was Cobalt Quiddy Pay Foil. He might have changed it since then. It's always depends on his mood. But he decided he completed all 3 levels of the challenge, both the common, rare, and the legendary, and he decided to lock them up, and we ran a fundraiser to unlock them. We set a goal at $1,000, and there was different levels. I think it was 250, 500, and 1,000. 250 to unlock the common, 500 to unlock the rare, and then $1,000 to unlock the legendary pack. We got to the goal in under an hour. We were at $1,200 in under an hour. So I can't be any prouder of the community for really stepping up and really showing what we're all about and how it's just great. We're doing it, and it's for such a great cause too. Kenny Moore, the Colts cornerback, did an AMA with the All Day team a little bit ago. And so we decided to support his mental health charity. run by the Irsay family and the Indianapolis Colts, and so Kenny has their support. He has their, he gives them their support, and we've all had moments where mental health has struck either ourselves or somebody close to us, and you can feel real helpless in those situations because one, you don't know what to do to help that person, and if it's happening to you, you don't know what to do to help yourself. So it's real important that we destigmatize those sort of things so that we can all be better people, and we got to lean on each other in that regard. So real proud that we've reached that goal so far, but we don't want to stop. So if you guys are hearing this, we got a link on our Twitter. So if you guys want to contribute, if you haven't already, feel free. Every little bit helps. We're trying to blow the roof off this thing and show everybody just how much how much this sort of thing matters to us as a group. So please go find that link. We'll link it below when we're not trying to work other machines, because we're old and I'm old and multitasking is hard. But real proud of that. And in that note, at ADU later tonight, right after the podcast, Cobalt is going to be joining our voice channel in the pack rip party, and he's going to open up all three of those packs for everybody to see what's in there. There's a Brady out there. There's some really great legendary moments out there. So we're gonna get to see 3 pack rips that were made available by the generosity of the people in our community and those who follow us. So if you're not in ADU yet and you know about that, come join up, get in that pack rip party, and let's hopefully celebrate another Tom Brady legendary into ADU hands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are there still 2 left, Diamond, or is it just 1 now?
Just one. One was pulled this morning. So out of the 4 that were in these packs, only 1's left. So high hopes that it's going to be pulled tonight. And congrats
How many packs are left?
That fundraiser too.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to shift gears now after getting to that. Not too long ago, there was a pretty awesome tool that was made available to the crew at ADU, named affectionately after its brilliant creator, Diamond. It's called the Diamond Cutter. Why don't you tell us a bit about your creation and how it works, as much as you want to, and what you have planned for it?
Yeah, essentially, it's every marketplace listing we can pull and have in Discord in real time, or as real time as we can get. Right now it's just showing every listing that comes in. I've color coded it so you can kind of quickly tell what a common is, a rare, legendary, all that kind of stuff. And then future, filters for it, like having the ability to have a channel that's, say, only 10% off moments that are listed, or a legendary channel where only legendaries post, or special serials like number 1's jersey, and that's all that's listed in the channel. So you can kind of filter down what you want to see, especially if you're like an OC where you're just like going for those legendary snipes all the time. Have it kind of catered to, I'm sure the channel will probably be named after. Have it catered towards that, and then kind of build from there. Like, hopefully, we get enough people using it, like it, can scale up and kind of go from there.
That's great. I've used it a bunch. I've managed to beat some of the bots on a few snipes because of that thing. And like, don't get me wrong, like my click game had to be on point. Like if I missed and had to retrace my steps by even a quarter inch, it was over. But it's definitely, if you've got your mouse in the right spot, you can do some work and get some great deals. And I've personally been a recipient of some awesome ones, so I appreciate the work that you put into that.
Yeah, and I think like at the end of the day, there's always going to be complaints from people like, oh, this person always gets this and all. So the initial idea was to kind of try my best to level that playing field. It's not going to be perfect. Like, it's not going to be whatever they're doing. How fast you got that really fast internet. If you're on, if you're out in the country, it's not, you can't really make your internet faster. Yeah. So there's only so much you can do. So this was my way of kind of like starting a path towards like evening the playing field. And, I'm always open for feedback. Anyone can message me, yell at me, tell me what should come.
Don't yell at
force me. I can handle it. I'm all right. It kind of like livens up my life a little bit to get yelled at. But there's some plans in the future to kind of build even from what I've already mentioned. So kind of look forward to that.
Anything
That's
else
awesome, man.
you want to share? Anything else you're working on as far as those little blockchain tools that you like so much?
Well, I think the newest aptly titled the Minty Fresh channel is where I will be posting new mints that I find.
That's a great name, and I can't even claim responsibility for that one. I'm mad.
I can't remember. I want to say that was Erwin who came up with that, but I'm not even 100% sure. It might have been Costanza too.
It's very it fits, and I think like the idea is really just I've already been posting this like on my own like Twitter, whatever, but now I can kind of just like have an area to put the new mints, put as much information that I think everyone would want to see, and just have it a little bit earlier than maybe OTM or some of these other sites would have it, and you'll be able to actually see the play earlier than most. So from there, like we may have, we'll see like if they introduce burning and those kind of things, we could have other fun things in the works coming. So
yeah,
I'll leave the tease with that. With if burning is a thing, there may be, I'll try to like tie that into something new that I've been working on.
Well, all I know is that if All Day doesn't do burning, something is going to burn. Either way, something is going to burn.
It'll be Hoarder's head after it explodes.
Yeah, exactly. And he won't even have.
Do you think that they do burn?
He won't even have a hat to put it out with.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I have seen very little, if any, negative feedback when it comes to the Diamond Cutter. You can use it on PC, on mobile. I've used it on mobile and gotten a couple. I mean, they weren't like the greatest deals by any stretch, but
you might have been the only one.
Yeah, I probably was the only one going for it, but still, like it works on both. Works PC and mobile.
Yeah.
Obviously, better if you're wired in and you're on your PC. But I haven't seen really any sort of negative feedback when it comes to it. Like it's definitely a great tool to have.
When it first got launched.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say even feedback, to like anything you might want to see with it. Like I've mentioned a couple different like types of filter channels, but maybe something else that someone wants to throw out there that could help. Like maybe only a channel when challenges are live, and those are the only moments that show up. I mean, there's a lot of different options we can go down.
A challenge filter one would be cool. Only challenge moments showing up. I mean, I don't know how like difficult that would be to throw something up that fast after a challenge would be released like that. That would probably take some work.
ADU might set the blockchain on fire. Challenge filter on the Diamond Cutter.
Well, all I know is the Diamond Cutter was on fire, after the pack drop on Friday. I mean, I think that there was the one weakness that it showed is when you have so many people throwing moments up on, that main channel is just, you get 5-6 listed at a time and you just can't keep up. But, that's going to be alleviated with the filtered, versions that will be coming out, in the future. So it's not a permanent problem, but it's one that became apparent after the pack drop.
And even for me, like it's fun. Because since I've actually had it running, like we've only had a couple pack drops to kind of work with how many listings. But it's fun to see like in real time how many people are listening after.
Oh yeah, like
it's crazy. I mean, like I could look at a number and be like, oh, that's a lot, but to actually see like just like nonstop, all these new listings coming in, and great deals too. I mean, like there may be someone pulled a duplicate and they want to get rid of. So all these kind of things, like good time to find deals. But yeah, it was just surprising to see how many listings are coming in.
Yeah, it was an incredible amount. Like I could keep up. It was just one after another. The screen never stopped. At some point, it just kept moving. Anyway, so since we're on the pack drop, we might as well talk about that now. Everybody was real excited for it. I thought for the most part, like the way they lined up the pack amounts was good. The setup for it was good. Everybody was excited for it. And then the queue issues happened. My understanding was it was something it wasn't the drop feature, but it was like a payment processing feature.
Okay.
that was like the people's payments weren't going through and they weren't able to deliver the packs, and it stopped the queue because they had to fix that first. That's my understanding of what happened. But you can't deny the just we're all fans of All Day. Like, we want this to go smooth for them more than for us. And it was heartbreaking to see it just get paused and just see people kind of getting frustrated, particularly anybody who had just come into All Day and was scarred previously by Top Shot. They came in and they instantly started having flashbacks and just losing their ever loving shit. Like, it was hard to see. And to me, we're gonna get packs eventually. It's like I'm in the queue.
Yeah.
I got a spot. Like, okay,
Yeah.
if it takes a couple extra hours, no big deal for me. But
Yeah.
I can understand where other people who maybe
Exactly.
aren't so patient start
I
digging for
actually
their
didn't
bottle
see.
of Ritalin.
I didn't see any negative feedback during the actual pausing, just because I just don't usually look at All Day. I'm in general during pack drops because, but I don't know. It was paused and I just wasn't. I wasn't even phased, kind of thing. Like, I was just like, okay, cool. Like, this is kind of normal because they're just trying to figure it out. But it didn't actually register to me that it wasn't normal. Because it was like everybody's. Because I'm like, this happens. Everybody knows, right? It gets paused sometimes.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your pack as long as you stay in queue. A lot of people didn't know that if you get out of queue without putting your email in, it'll kick you out the queue. I didn't know that. Because apparently it happened to somebody in ADU.
I know.
I think it happened to a couple people.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's where if you don't put your email in and then you accidentally get booted from the queue, they don't have a record of where you were. But if you get the email,
so
your spot is recorded. Yeah,
exactly. So
Yeah.
Diamond,
I would say every time I've joined a queue, I always take a screenshot of the queue number, like the ID, just in case there's an issue. Because sometimes you don't. Yeah, your browser closed or whatever happens, and then you lose that, and you didn't put your email in, like you were saying. So I always it's just as soon as I join, I immediately screenshot it. I don't even think twice anymore. I just do it just in case. And I've had a couple issues over the time with All Day and Top Shot in the past, and support has been great with it. But I mean, I'm one that got one of the last 500 packs in the Rewind 3, so I actually benefited from some people having to leave.
okay.
But I kind of feel bad also because people have other stuff to do and they couldn't wait, and I that's just I feel bad about that. But I got one of the last packs, so thankfully I got that. But no, it's I think they handled it well. There was updates, we were getting as best communication we could. Stats channel was updating. I think even though there were delays, I think it's still on our side. I don't think it was as bad as maybe a couple people may say, especially if you missed out on a pack. I've felt that before, but
Painful.
I think the way they handled it was actually pretty smooth.
I mean, I didn't have any issues except for the second pause because I was literally.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was my turn. I posted it in there so Zach could see. I was like, "Come on, can you just turn the line on so I can get my pack?" I got mine. My money's available. It's good. It's good. But like Diamond said, I was probably one of the last 100 packs. I rejoined just for shits and giggles just to see where I'd be at, and it was 20,000 with 12,000 left.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah, there's no way. But I just stayed in there. I left the browser open on my phone, and I kept checking, and I dropped 1,000. Checked again, 30, 40 minutes later, dropped 4,000. I'm like, all right, maybe I got a chance. And then it got down to the last 300 some packs, and I was I think it was 352, and my spot in line was 352. So I'm like, all right, well, I know Diamond said in the past, the number of packs remaining is not an actual number. Don't look at that. And then 10 minutes later, I was 250, and the packs remaining was 320. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll get a second one. Probably shouldn't have gotten that second one, but I benefited from everything that kind of went on with people dropping out left, right, and center, coming about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Hey, if somebody can't be patient, there's no reason why somebody who is patient can't benefit from it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm glad you take Go Pack. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will gladly take it. I'll let you know what you would have gotten.
I mean, I would have gladly given that pack back because it was not nearly that great. I know AJ likes to say every pull's a good pull. Yeah, well, not if it's Steelers.
Gotta
players.
meme it now.
Yeah, that's questionable. It's from a place of good intent, but that's questionable. All right, so Diamond, do you have where else is your head at? Like you're the special guest. I'd like you to kind of say what you feel.
I mean,
it's a
I was gonna say
horrible question.
recently, like
Terrible
we're
lead-in,
hitting
I
it,
know. Sorry.
like this is like we've been so busy the last week or two. It's starting to feel like my actual job with the mintings and coming, the packs, and all that kind of
No
stuff.
kidding.
I do want to get like with the Tom Brady's OC getting that first buy, getting the perfect.
Yeah.
Might be one of the best buys I've seen.
Oh, that was a steal. That's why he's the GOAT.
I can't believe he got that.
That's why he's the GOAT.
So
you don't really know like what.
Yeah, you kind of set that beginning floor. So I'll take my time to give OC that call, that little
That was crazy because if you look at like the like actual average sell, he got an amazing deal, and I'm very happy for him. I mean, that's what he does. He's a sniper.
But yeah, the last 2 weeks, all the news, like it's been. I mean, we're going straight into the season. Like if it's like this every week, I'm gonna have to start handling my time management a little bit better with everything going on.
I'm already
here.
at that point.
yeah. It's gonna be my part-time job if it's not already.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, this is kind of what's been blowing up for me. Like being around the platform for like 5-6 months now for me personally. Like I've always been like that kind of person that's like, okay, season's coming. Like all these things are coming, steamrolling. So I'm kind of glad I'm in it and experiencing it and excited to see what's coming next. Because I do think we'll get some pretty big news like before the season. Like they're going to throw something out there that's going to be not necessarily knock us off our feet, but like even more engaged for the season coming.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, everything's been building up, especially through the off season, right? I got in right end of December last year, I think it was, and it was a really fun time. Like it was very new. We were, every pack drop was fun and it was a blast. And then when the season ended, you got a chance to recalibrate, and then all of a sudden you kind of looked and went, uh-oh, like we got to kind of slow down here a little bit. And considering the bottom when the bottom was to where we are now, it feels like just a small blip in the overall uptrend. Like we're still just on wave one if you're talking Fibonacci, right? You know what I mean? We're still working our way north. So or maybe maybe we're on wave 3 because we got your first initial pump and then it dipped down into the summer and now we're running into season 2. So this is really where we have a chance to take off and go someplace special. And I think the way that the team has communicated repeatedly their commitment to scarcity and, everything else that we've basically asked for. And, it's hard not to be encouraged going into the season because you're not seeing nearly as many of the issues that plagued Top Shot going into their season 2, right? Where they just tried to bend over backwards to the whims of every knucklehead with a keyboard that was complaining that they couldn't get packs. So they're like, okay, packs for everybody. And then the whole thing went to crap and they're like, what happened? It was like, well, no matter how much people kick and scream, the scarcity is the most important thing, So, something that you touched on earlier, Diamond, was, hoping that each player in Series 2 only has, one moment. Like pick a tier, stick them in there, right? And maybe have that be it for the season. You know, we don't want to get into a season where you have the possibility of buying between 15 to 20 different Pat Mahomes. You know, just devalues all of them in the end. So, you know, they're going to have to find a way to balance getting out new moments with not devaluing the ones that are already out.
So I kind of wanted to touch on that. You know, TC and I see a little differently there. Is that the way you worded it, Diamond? Is that how you meant it? Was just the one moment, like whatever it be, a legendary Mahomes? Are you saying you think that would be something worthwhile for AD to do, just the one legendary Mahomes for the year and nothing else, or were you meaning it as in like one of each?
Well, I think like they're going to be minting kind of on demand. Like I for like Mahomes, okay, he's a great player, you know, face of the league. That like he should get more than a couple moments. I'm not saying he only gets one for the season. Maybe one per tier.
Yeah,
could be the idea, but and then obviously when you get to the playoffs, like that's the like if you already have say 3 Mahomes and he's in the playoffs and he gets Super Bowl, like you're as we've had in history, we've had playoff packs and Super Bowl and that kind of stuff. So like if he has a big play in like the divisional round, but he already has one of each tier, like does he get another one? So I think it's like they have an economy team. They've talked about it. I think they're gonna weight that. Like you might have a Mahomes like middle of the season, he gets a rare, and you have another play like the next week. Like I don't see that they would go ahead and mint another Mahomes. Like they have to kind of
like what do you do in that situation?
Spreading out the packs, having one every 3, 4, whatever it's going to be, like that's going to help them kind of like curate like the best moments for us. So I don't think that we're necessarily going to get 4 or 5 Mahomes, for instance, but I do think like having at least one for each tier for the bigger players like that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
because then you're going to run into a situation like, you know, I keep going back to it, but Brees Hall with the Jets. So, you know, he's more than likely, I would think he's going to get, you know, heavy touches straight out the gate. You know, he's got to be probably the best running back on that team by far. You know, what happens if, say, like week 1 or 2, he pops off and has like a 3 touchdown game? Like, it's going to be hard for them to like ignore that and be like, oh, well, we kind of said, you know, we're trying not to give out legendary moments for debuts anymore. But if a player goes and does that week 1 or 2, you're kind of, you don't want to handcuff yourself by saying, okay, well, this is what we said, you know, so we're going to stick to it type of thing. But yeah, that's why I kind of think like if you do one of each is fine. But yeah, like I'm a huge Jamar Chase fan. Jamar Chase does not need whatever it might be 7 moments from season 1.
Yeah.
That's
definitely like, overkill. And I think, you know, I think the example of Brees Hall is one that, you know, I would particularly support, you know, not, sure, one for each tier for him because he doesn't have any moments yet, you know. For me, my point was mostly that if you take somebody like Jamar Chase who has a million billion moments already, like, you know, I think you have to be really careful with how many you give him in the next season because, I mean, that's a lot of moments, right? You know, some of these other guys like Christian McCaffrey or Lamar Jackson who currently only have one moment, like, yeah, they're going to be probably on the watch to have multiple moments in series 2, and I think that's perfectly fine. You know, it's for me, it's the ones that, you know, have too many already. And Cooper Kupp have a bunch of them too.
I mean, it's basically anybody that made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, once you think about it, like,
how do you guys feel about like our commons and rares during like the regular season, and then like once you get to like the playoffs, whoever makes the playoffs, that's where you get into like the actual legendary moments. How do you guys feel about that? Because I saw that one as well.
I mean, for me, it's like you're gonna need some legendary moments during the season. So, you know, I mean, like, but it could be something like, you know, Brees Hall if he goes off for 3 touchdowns. You know, absolutely, you could have a legendary set of, you know, player. I mean, they did say they don't want to do debuts above common though, so that I believe that's what they said.
That was kind of the wording that they put on it, was we would like to try and not
Yeah.
make debuts be more than just a common. But
Sure.
like again, if you know, again, go away from Brees Hall, go well,
I mean,
stick with the Jets. Sauce Gardner.
Sure.
Like, what if he has 2 interceptions week 1?
Yeah.
You know, he has 2 picks, one's a touchdown, and then you know has a sack or something like that. Like, you're really going to make a rookie corner in his first game does something like that? You wouldn't make it a legendary just because you said like, hey, you know, we're only going to keep debuts at common. Like that would suck to see as a fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully it's kind of like an open-ended type of comment that was there, and we just all kind of took it wrong. But
I mean,
Hey, that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, but because there are not there are still top players that do not have legendary moments. So I think it would be rather easy for somebody, you know, especially like Christian McCaffrey, who is probably going to play 3 or 4 games and then get injured. So you might as well take his best play and give him a legendary or something. At least, you know, I don't mean to put him down, but that's the history so far. You know, and same with Lamar Jackson. You know, there's no reason you can't give him an early legendary or an early rare. You know, so there's room for them to do those things. Still have legendaries early in the season, but also save some other possibilities for rares and legendaries in the playoffs and Super Bowl and, you know, home stretch of the season and whatnot.
I wonder how much of it is like they're waiting for a player to have a big game. Like, what if, you know, a big name star has like a bad season? Like, I mean,
Right.
I know that in the history we've had some, you know, some plays that aren't as big as some others and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like if a player doesn't perform well, are they just going to wait till they're like, okay, we want to have one of this player's moments out by like mid-season? Do we just use the best we have? Or do they just like wait for those big games, like a highlight reel kind of thing? Those are the ones that they're minting, like focusing more on that.
I mean, I think, you know, one of the, well, at least, you know, our community's, you know, main thoughts on that was that, you know, that they have to be careful and they have to be selective with their moment selection, because some of them in series 1 was a little bit like, okay, you know what I mean? So I do think you'd have to just find a balance of waiting for a truly great moment to, you know, to immortalize in a moment, and then but still taking one when one's in front of you, you know.
Now, so I believe in all day long term. So say someone like Jamar Chase, right? He's in the league 6, 7 years, 8, right? And he's incredible. So every single season he gets a legendary moment. Would you say that's too much, or were you like, is that what you're saying about like a scarcity? Because I feel like as you go, as like all day gets older, a scarcity is going to be kind of like dwindled down if the player is actually good.
Right. Well, it depends on what part of their career they're in too. You know, you know, obviously we're going to have some turnover every year with people retiring or, you know, becoming less pertinent in their current roles. And, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of that. You have new draftees coming in that you'll be able to really do some stuff with. But I do think that, you know, having a legendary of a star player every year is a bit of a risk, because, you know, it just devalues the whole group, like you said. You know, if it's not a debut, yeah, it's series 1, but then does series 2 really have a whole lot much more value than series 5? You know what I mean? Because it's the first season of many collectibles that really matter. So it's, you know, how much of the whole will be brought
like a
down
rookie
by
card,
having
though,
more,
right?
Yeah,
It's kind of
absolutely.
like LeBron has a dope rookie card, but then like all his other seasons obviously are not going to be as desirable than his like rookie card.
Yeah.
So I guess one thing I don't want to keep Cobalt too long from being able to open his packs and all, but one thing that has been brought up briefly and never really touched on again was those Genesis moments. Yeah. So what would your opinion be on say, foregoing a legendary and then minting a Genesis, where it's only the one for the players like Chase, Brady, Rogers, people who, well, maybe not Rogers because he doesn't have that much longer left for Brady, but for the younger players, as opposed to giving a legendary where you're going to get 50 to, whatever, 60 of those moments, just doing a Genesis every year. Like, what would be your kind of opinion on that? This is more so to TC, probably.
I mean, my understanding of the whole idea of the Genesis was just a one-on-one of every player was as the first thing that they created of them. So, I mean, I don't know if that works just based on my understanding of what a Genesis moment is. I mean, maybe Diamond can correct me on that.
Yeah, I mean, they're already minted.
Yeah.
There's 352 of them, one-of-ones for most players in the league that were minted. So I think the kind of the way you're saying, like, my idea would be it kind of be drops in packs would be maybe how they release those. I'm not a big fan of the auction and all that kind of stuff, but I can see in the future that being a thing. But also, like, I'm not in a rush to see those. Like they should just sit there for however long, and like 3, 4, 5 years later, then we get. I'm not picky on those, like seeing those, but I mean, I do think, like, I mean, we haven't even brought up like ultimates. You could have an ultimate of like a Jamar Chase instead of having a legendary or whatever, and then having that.
Yeah, that's true. Would they leave the ultimate tier to just historical, or is that something that they would bring down to the modern day players as well?
I mean, I think if I was the one making that decision, I would definitely want to kind of push like an ultimate of like a Burrow or a Herbert or one of those. Like,
I think,
and I don't think they're all going to be of 10. Like, they could always do a 5 instead.
Yeah.
10 obviously makes sense because they've already done that, but yeah, 10 Herberts, like, that's putting value above. Again, if you have a legendary, a series 1, that kind of thing, like, because they're at the value and that kind of stuff, that's something that the economy and like as years go on, we'll kind of see. But I think having like a player like that have that moment, like a 10 min count, and then make maybe a common or whatever for a really big game or something, and I could see that being the whole season for them.
I like that.
I think it'd be cool to do ultimates of just the offense and defensive players of the year. Two per season, the 2 best players of the year. Why not? Like, what's the definition of an ultimate? The best plays of the best players of the season is what it says to me. And then if you want to do more historical stuff and add a Peyton Manning or Barry Sanders or Walter Payton or you name it, like there's options to go that route to have a few more, but not completely oversaturate that market because and unless you pack one, there's not a whole lot of people out there that are really going to be able to fork out for one of those ultimates, let alone a Genesis or something like that. But I do like the idea of having multiple avenues of releasing the Genesis moments. You could throw a few in packs. You could auction some away. You could I can't remember what the other options were that was on that poll question. But
burn them and
or
just stash them away and not use them, type of thing.
Yeah, and I think my answer, I think I clicked all of them. It's like they all sound good. Just do a little bit of everything. Doesn't have to be one. Like, you have a Genesis moment of somebody who might, somebody might not want to buy, burn it, kind of curate that set, much like the community at ADU.
I mean, even like having, if they're going to do like a pack every 4 weeks or so, maybe have that pack be kind of the star, like whoever had a great game or whatever, or maybe it's been kind of the MVP so far, that kind of thing, and have them kind of be the pack star, quote unquote, and then have that one player's Genesis be dispersed and have that 1.0000 whatever percent chance. But if you pull it, that's something you won't forget.
No,
there you go, Ty. There's your 0.0001 chance at
I finally got it.
Cue up Lloyd Christmas and so you're saying there's a chance. Right on. All right. Well, I think we're right about at the time here. So Diamond, please feel free. Give us all the details you want to share with everybody out there that doesn't have it already. Where do we find you? And when we're going to see some more new stuff from you.
I mean, you can find me in the ADU Discord. You can also find me on Twitter, NFT Diamond. It's usually where I'm posting all the mints, pack contents, big sales, all that kind of stuff. Fun little just follow the feed. As for tools, like I'm going to be working on it when we're done with this. I'll watch it. Well, actually, after Colbot, when he pulls the Tom Brady. After
Yes.
that, then I'll start getting into some updates to come pretty soon.
Awesome.
But I also want to say, appreciate this. Is my first Spaces. I had like 7 meetings today. Barely have a voice. I appreciate it. It was kind of easy once we started going, so I appreciate the help, kind of getting me through.
Yeah, no worries. We really appreciate you
natural.
coming and being here with us, man. This was awesome, and you're welcome back anytime. So if you got something you wanna spout off about and share with everybody, you let me know, and we'll get you on.
Yeah, I'll raise my hand if I see mintings happening during a future podcast.
All right, it's perfect.
Real-time report.
Live report from Diamond.
No, if only I could figure out how to run this software to actually click to the live report, and then we could get you in a green screen in front of like a hurricane scene, rain jacket.
Just like spam DM you, like just copy paste all of it.
Yeah. Right on. All right, well, let's wrap it up on that note. Thanks everybody for joining us. Once again, my name is Nate. We got Ty to my left, Andrew down below, and Diamond off in the caddy corner there. We're headed to ADU now, going into the pack rip party to watch Cobalt rip open his unlocked pack. So if you're not part of the crew, come sign up, come jump in the pack rip party, and we'll be there. So thank you guys all for listening. We'll be back again normal time on next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And for now, thanks again, and we'll talk to y'all real soon.